All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. Maven is going to get a radar detector. I was going to mount it over here on the bar, but there just wasn't enough room for the mount, and the mounting position just seemed off. So I decided to go with the stem mount. I purchased this off Amazon. Looks like a black little golf ball here. It's going to go on the stem mount. Allows me to use a RAM mount here. Got the RAM mount there, connection, small connection, 1-inch ball here too as well. The next piece I'm going to need, and then this is a RAM mount. It is a magnetic base. It's got a magnet there, and the magnet's going to attach to the radar detector to mount it for on and off. And here's the hardwire kit I got off Amazon, just a basic RJ11 hardwire kit for my Uniden R7 radar detector. Just came with the cable. Did come with some fuse taps as well. You're going to see there's the cable that it came with. Came with fuse taps. I'm not going to be using these things, these fuse taps. I'm going to go again with the quick connect and the mini fuse taps like I did for the phone holder there in my last video. So there's the wiring I'm going to be using here. Again, I'm going to be using the fuse, the mini fuse tap. So none of these fuse taps, nice, just don't want to use them. I'm going to use the mini fuse tap. Again, it is a mini fuse if you wanted to know. So I had to cut off the connection there, put on the quick connect again, the female quick connect. I'm going to use a mini fuse tap. So here, as I mentioned, that magnetic base, that red piece is just a sticker there. I'm going to have to pry that off, put that on the radar detector, connects to the ball here underneath here with 4 screws, and then use that mini ram clamp. As you can see here, I just put the 4 bolt screws there of the 1-inch connector through that magnetic connector. And there's the other side of it. You can see the screws go through that side. I've got the ball connector in there now. The came with these little kind of connection pieces depending upon what size your actual stem was, and then you put them together like this, 2 of them based on the size that kind of fits in there, and then as you screw down they expand together and it creates a tight seal there. Wiring wise, I'm going to go around the other side of the bike this time. Last time I went around the other side for the phone. This time I'm going to go around this side for the radar detector and go back into that fuse box there. So I had this little plunger tool again, used it to get the wires underneath. Was kind of handy there, so I wasn't stripping the wires or using a screwdriver, which might have damaged the wires. But I just used it to kind of plunge in or stuck in the wires all the way through here, up and around underneath the tank, and coming back to that back fuse box there where I tapped into the fuse. You can kind of see I got some black tape over it. That was just to keep the fuse box down. I'm going to go out through that cutout again, just like I did with the phone, same place. There is the cutout on the piece of the fairing there. All the wires come out with that follow out those brake lines, front brake lines there. So there's what it looks like when I put things together. The radar detector itself has a little ridge there at the back, so it can't fit flush, but it does work. Here's me plugging in the cable here, just a test fit to make sure the power works before I go and plug everything in together. Again, I wanted it to run off ignition. I did not want it to run off of constant power because I don't want things going. But that's where I plugged in here. You can see one, I've got 2 of them. One's for the phone and then one is for the radar detector now. Again, I used the 10 amp brake horn and the other one for the headlight. Put some little black tape there just to hold it down. Those were my ground locations for the 2 things there. Come up here, use a little quick tie there to tidy things up here. Turn my power on. A little test here. Sure enough, radar detector fires up. Perfect, that's what we want. Turn it off. Radar detector goes off. Perfect. That's what we wanted to do. So I just kind of tidied things up here again. It came with a bunch of wire here, so just use some of the cable ties here just to kind of tidy things up. Fit nicely underneath the seat here, so I didn't have any issues there. There's what the radar detector looks like with it on, buttoned up, everything put back together. Nice mounted center location. It's behind the windscreen, so I'm going to have that protection. And there's my wires coming out there again. Another quick test there with everything all put back together. Perfect. So now I'm just adding the phone in here and make sure that works too as well with everything. And great, we've got power. So everything is working the way it's supposed to. Excellent. Turn it off, no power. Looks good. So this is the setup outside. You can just see here my radar and the phone. So you'll notice the white wire coming out of the radar detector. That's coming out of the earphone jack. I'm just using some earbuds there, so that way I get the alerts into the helmet there. I've got it on the loudest setting. Seems to work fine. Didn't have any issues here. I know there's potentially some wireless ways to do that, but I don't want to have to worry about losing a wireless connection or Bluetooth connection and not getting the radar alert that I want. So I'm going with this solution for right now. We'll see what happens in the future. As for right now, I'm happy. I'm going to use Bluetooth for the phone connection. I've got a Maven H2 that I'm going to use, and maybe I'll do a little review of that. But that's it for now. We're ready to go.